Ridley Scott's got a brand new film here in 2021. It's called House of Gucci. It's also based on a true story. I'm going to get into this one and tell you what I think about it next. Hey everyone, it's the Outlaw John Rocha here with a review for you for House of Gucci, this brand new film coming out this week here from Ridley Scott. He's directing two films in the same calendar year. They're both based on true stories, but both completely different films, but dealing with something pretty horrific. Of course, The Last Duel dealing with a rape, and this film dealing with the murder of Maurizio Gucci, who was played by Adam Driver. His wife hires some contract killers to kill him and murder him because she's upset that he's divorcing her and leaving her. And that wife is Patrizia Reggiani. That is played by Lady Gaga. And we'll get into this review in just a second. But first, I want to remind you all to please subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you see when we're dropping all the new content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel. And if you're a Twitch person, head on over to Twitch. Follow or subscribe to me there. The Outlaw Nation, all one word. Play-alongs, watch-alongs, all of that happening. I just bought a couple of new PS5 games. I'm going to be doing some play-alongs on Twitch as well. And later on, I'll let you know how you can be part of the Patreon so you can be more of an interactive part of the Outlaw Nation. Have some fun with us there in the Outlaw Nation Patreon as well. All right, let's get into this film here. House of Gucci from Ridley Scott. It's based on the book by Sarah Gay Forden. It's called The House of Gucci, a sensational story of murder, madness, glamour, and greed. This one, as I said, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, but also Jared Leto, Jeremy Irons, Salma Hayek, and Al Pacino. And for those of us who are massive Boardwalk Empire fans, we also get Jack Huston in this film as well. And if you enjoyed Stillwater like I did, Camille Cotton has a small role here to play later on in the film. All right, so basically the film deals with this relationship as it comes to bear. This Patrizia Reggiani and Maurizio Gucci meeting in the film. We see the course of their relationship from their first meeting at a party at a club to their developing relationship to her meeting his dad, who is played by Jeremy Irons, and then to meeting Al Pacino, who is the kind of like the person in charge or half in charge of all of Gucci, and then them getting married and then eventually divorcing. But the whole film follows the push from Patrizia Reggiani, who at the time when we meet her is essentially the office manager of her father's trucking company, not something of the same status as Gucci, but she has this kind of strength and this drive and this desire to be successful and to achieve things. And so when she meets Maurizio, she's initially kind of surprised that she would meet him at a party or a club that she would go to. And then from that point forward, she makes herself available to him. She stalks him, she tracks him down, she runs into him accidentally, and then kind of fosters this relationship and pushes him to embrace more of being a part of the Gucci family. He initially resists it, but then eventually finds his way back to being a part of the Gucci empire, the Gucci family, at her insistence. She is the driving force behind Maurizio the whole time in the movie. And I think Lady Gaga, this is let's get into some things I like. This is Lady Gaga, powerhouse of a performance. What a delivery here. I know a lot of people loved her in A Star Is Born. I thought she was good in A Star Is Born, but I was 100% blown away by what she did in A Star Is Born. Here, she is the reason to watch this movie. She is a battering ram of desire, a battering ram of wanting success, a battering ram of wanting the spotlight. And she's irresistible. So much power in every scene that she's in, no matter what status she's at, from where she becomes the office manager to where she becomes his girlfriend to where she becomes his wife to where she has some kind of status in the Gucci empire, and then all the way down when she's kind of reduced to hiring hitmen to kill her husband or ex-husband in this situation. She just commands the screen. Don't be surprised she gets nominated. Don't be surprised if she wins, because a lot of people felt she should have won for A Star Is Born. Adam Driver, to kind of counter her, a little more subtle. Got to look inside of his face to see what's going on, to see what he's feeling, see what he's thinking. He doesn't give too much away. He's an interesting character. It's an interesting way to play this, right? If you've got someone like Lady Gaga who's so bombastic and owns every scene she's in, you've got to kind of underplay what she's doing, underplay what she's doing. And certainly Adam Driver does that and he's excellent here. And when he starts to move away from her, he is quite cold and ruthless. And it is a bit unsettling to see. Although you understand why he's doing it, you also don't necessarily agree with him taking a stand here that somehow he's better than her in certain ways, because he wouldn't even be in the position that he's in if it wasn't for her driving him to embrace more of his family. So some interesting conversations you have with yourself as a viewer about this relationship. It's challenging, and I really enjoy that. Al Pacino, he does his Al Pacino thing. There's not much more going on here but Al being Al, and there's occasional moments of yelling and occasional moments of great acting work with him and Jeremy Irons, who's also fantastic in the film, playing Maurizio's dad. There's a genuine love he has for his son, and he's lost in the past and not wanting to embrace his son moving forward in the future. And that becomes an issue between both of them. Yet there's incredible scenes from him and Adam Driver and him and Al Pacino, who are co-owners of the Gucci brand. And playing underneath all of this is the idea of how do we make Gucci successful? How do we modernize Gucci? That's a problem that's going on throughout the film as a kind of subplot as well. And both Jeremy Irons and Al Pacino have great back and forths about the direction that the Gucci brand needs to go in. Jared Leto, I enjoyed Jared Leto in this movie. If you've ever seen any interviews or read any articles about Paolo Gucci, I think he really nails the essence of this guy. I think he does an interesting job. It's definitely a standout performance, from the makeup to his way he's speaking things in his Italian. It's a noticeable performance, but he's doing subtle things within the noticeable performance that, for me as an actor, I really enjoyed watching and gravitated to. But some of you might not like it. I've already seen some people complain about it in their reviews. So to each their own. Jack Huston does his thing, really solid, a little bit distant, a little bit cold, having to do the things that he has to do here in the movie as well. And it's great to see Salma Hayek in another big production just after seeing her in Eternals. She's really funny here and interesting as his character Pina, and her involvement. She's a psychic, and she gets involved with Patricia Reggiani. What else I like? I like Ridley Scott's direction here. I thought Ridley Scott did an excellent job directing this movie, moving forward from place to place, time in time, and capturing the essence and the energy of what's going on in their world, in Italy and in other cities when all of this is happening. The location scouting is fantastic. Where he shoots really gives you that feeling of richness, that old school richness that's been around. We go to some smaller towns as well, really feeling the vibe of the working class people. I think he does an excellent job pacing the film out. I enjoy the madness and the lunacy of this story and the craziness of the rich people in the film. It's so interesting to watch and dynamic to watch. And you think about Last Duel, which was kind of a slow moving slog to get through, and telling a really important story. This is a little more lighter. This is more funnier. This is more interesting. Even though it does deal with a murder, this is played out for more of the dark comedy laughs that Ridley Scott can do so well when he gets a good script in his hands, for sure. And speaking of the script, want to give some love definitely to Becky Johnston and Roberto Bentivegna, who did a nice job with this script, kind of building this relationship, building these other relationships, having people pop in and pop out who have important parts of this whole story and play important roles in how this all plays out. There's a whole subplot with a bunch of Iraqi businessmen who are taking over Gucci, what that leads to. The cinematography from Darius Wolski works really well as well. I love how they brought you into the film with that. Harry Gregson Williams' score works really well as well, to take you into these kind of areas and make you feel what's happening, from the disco stuff to the more epic operatic stuff. All of that is there for you to explore within this as well. And the costume design here, Janty Yates deserves all kinds of credit for the costumes in this movie. Really well done and interesting colors being used here. Designs, all of them mirroring, of course, the decade or the year even that they're in, or the season even that they're in. All of it works really well. If there's anything I could ding it about, is that there are moments where it kind of loses its way or gets a little bit confusing about who's in what position, especially when it comes to Jack Huston's character. Like, what is his actual role in this, other than being an advisor, other than being a friend? What was he doing behind the scenes? So it would have been nice to see a little bit more of that, explained or kind of fleshed out a little bit more. I think it would have been nice to see a little more with Al Pacino. We saw some stuff with, of course, him and Jared Leto have these scenes because they're father and son in the movie, but I would like a little bit more of their interactions, a little bit more of what's going on with them from the past, so you can kind of dial into and accept the relationship here as we're watching it in terms of the film, present day in the film. I would like to have seen a little bit more of that. That would have been fun to have. But, they all do incredible work here as actors. They all make these scenes come alive. And as I said, I enjoyed the ride. It's a crazy dark comedy. It's out there, but it really works for me. Overall, I give the film about 4 cowboy hats. I do think there's some things that kind of hold it back from being a 4.5 or 5 cowboy hat type of movie. 4 cowboy hats, it's a good movie. It's definitely one to enjoy. If you want to sit back and savor and enjoy some great actors within an insane, maddening situation, then this is the film for you. You're going to laugh. You're going to find it kind of odd and also very interesting. And you're going to be really connecting with Lady Gaga's character. She isn't playing a caricature here. There's some real oomph and desire and need for Patrizia Reggiani to achieve a certain kind of status. And when that status is leaving her, you see the desperation. Lady Gaga plays the desperation so well, and you feel that kind of that's kind of coming from a bone deep place. You absolutely dial into what she's going through and what she's living here as she goes through the film for sure. So that's my review here for House of Gucci. Hope you get a chance to watch it over this Thanksgiving Day weekend or Thanksgiving Day week. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments section below. Let me know what you thought of this review in the comments section below as well. Remember to hit a like on this video and share it on your social media. When you share it on your social media, you're telling your friends and family, hey, the Outlaw Nation is a cool place to come and enjoy some content. And if you want to be an interactive part of the Outlaw Nation, have some fun with us on our Hangouts, our watch-alongs, our Outlaw Nation Movie Trivia League, all kinds of stuff that we do here on the Outlaw Nation Patreon, then head on over there, patreon.com/John Rocha, and see all of the numerous tiers that you can subscribe and support us at and enjoy the benefits of that as well. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well. Enjoy House of Gucci, and I'll talk to you next time with a brand new review here on the Outlaw Nation.